Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. And today I'm going to be going over my updated variant of my Cyber Dragon deck. I've been taking this deck really seriously lately. It's this and Herald of Perfection and Zephyrs are like the only decks on my mind. Like everything else is so irrelevant right now. These are the only decks that I would take to any event, be it a tier 2 event or even just locals. Like these are just like the decks that are on my mind. And lately I've been taking Cyber Dragons really seriously, been wanting to play them in the competitive environment. Because I just find that it has a lot of elements that are very influential in the playing field, being that it just has this natural great matchup against all of the meta decks. It has a very high impact against a lot of the best decks, and it's kind of like the greatest going second deck of the format, in my opinion. I mean, it's so good, it's so well rounded, it's so great of a deck. It's very flexible. It can go first or second. It has OTKs. It has control elements. It actually has the capabilities to grind. It has infinite board wipes. It's just such a good deck. It's kind of like a jack of all trade deck. It's not linear. It doesn't just do only one thing and one thing. Like contrary to what people say about this deck, it can do a lot. And I really like it. Man, really like it a lot. So this is my updated list. I've modified the main deck and the side deck. The extra deck's pretty much still the same. And I feel like this list is actually more consistent than the one that I took to Houston Regionals. And this list is so good that I'm actually upset that I didn't just take this one to the Regionals. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the list, you guys. Cyber Dragons is... Bro, Cyber Dragons is just so savage. It's just it's a scary deck, bro. Like, who in their right mind would be like, I'll play against the Cyber Dragons? Nah, bro, nobody wants to get paired up against this deck. So starting off with OG Cyber Dragon. Bro, free board wipe. I mean, what more can I say, brother? It's like free board wipe. I don't even have... You mean to tell me that I can get rid of Ultimate Falcon, Great Magnus, and other cards that say they're unaffected by card effects and can't be destroyed by battle and can't be targeted and can't be destroyed? But you mean to tell me that without a normal summon that I can just send them to the grave and say, bye, see you later? Like, that's crazy. Bye, I'm Paul. So I just think that that's amazing. Cyber Dragon is just broken, bro. You can even play him just as a mini engine just for going second. Side deck 3 Cyber Dragons for Mega Fleet. He's just so busted, bro. He really is. Breaking boards without wasting your normal summon is so relevant for this deck because your normal summon is so crucial, so pivotal, and so basically game-changing that you have to use it on the right thing, and that is obviously gonna go to Core. Core is dangerous, bro. He really is. I've said it like a lot of times in my other deck profile, because I currently only have 2 profiles for Cyber Dragons up. But Core is dangerous, you guys. This card literally wipes entire fields. He can decimate back rows. He can decimate all monsters. And it's not just because he can search Overflow. It's not just because he can search Cyberload, and both of those can clear back rows. But Overflow can clear anything. And it's not just because he searches your Monster Reborn or your Kaijus, which outboss monsters, but it's because he can search Eltanen. That's why he can wipe an extra link board, because he can search Cyber Eltanen, and that guy can send all other monsters on the field to the grave. So can you imagine just how dangerous Core really is? Think of all the board wipes that he can search. He searches your Kaijus, he searches out your Eltanen, he searches out your Cyberload Fusion, he searches out your Overflow, he gives you your Monster Reborn, he gives you your fodder for your extenders for your plays. He gives you like everything, bro. He's everything that the deck needs. And when you banish him, you summon a Cyber Dragon monster from your deck, not exclusively the OG Cyber Dragon. Don't forget that, because when Noster comes out, that's going to make a huge difference when this card can be an instant comeback. Just banish him from the grave, you control none, summon Noster, Noster's effect, summon another guy from grave. You already have a play to make before you even committed anything else. Core is just dangerous, you guys. A really cool interaction with this guy in Cyber Eltanen is once you resolve Eltanen and send all monsters on the field to grave, you can normal him, search your Cyberload Fusion, play Cyberload Fusion, not play yet, normal him, search Cyberload Fusion, link with him in Eltanen to make Seeger, then play Cyberload Fusion, shuffle your guys back, summon Rampage, Rampage affect a game 2 more attacks, and then you use Seeger and you are attacking 3 times for 4,200, and don't forget, Rampage is going to pop any back rows if there were any. So you basically get to clear the entire field, all monsters, all back rows, and then attack for 4,200 3 times. Most dangerous 2-card combo, Core and Eltanen, you guys. So broken. Yeah, so like I said, Core is just dangerous. Such a great card. I love him. If I could play 9 Cores in my deck, trust me, all my monsters would be Cores. And then we have Triple Hers. I consider this card to be nearly an equivalence, the same caliber as Core, simply because he gets my core back anyways. I remember one of my videos, the one that I did previous to this one, this guy was telling me, because I was explaining, saying hers can add from deck or grave, right? And I was saying in the video how I manage my resources and how I use hers to get my core back from graveyard and continually add it. This guy told me, oh, hers can only search Cyber Dragon from the deck. And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? I was saying add it from grave. So don't forget that hers can actually add your core from graveyard, as if people didn't already know that. Everybody watching this profile already knows that, obviously. But yeah, that's how I really use him. That's like the main and like normally the only way that I use him. I never really have used his effect to make his level 5. Like, when it could have came up, I was just like, nah, I want to get my core back. And it makes such a huge difference. It really does. And he's a target for 1-for-1, which I'm playing now. It's so good, bro. It really is. It's just 3 more cores that you really need. It's mandatory. I can't wait for Nostr to come back. This card's gonna be even greater with Nostr because you could just discard him, special summon Nostr, use the effect, add core back, Nostr, special summon something else, and then normal summon core. You're gonna have nasty plays, you guys. But yeah, hers is amazing. He's my resource manager. He's so important for me. And then next up, we're playing triple Galaxy Soldier. Now Galaxy Soldier, he's almost like a Cyber Dragon. That's why they call him the honorary Cyber Dragon, because he has a lot of key elements that are very, very unique. Very much similarities to the Cyber Dragon archetype and how it operates, the functionality, and him in cohesion with a lot of other cards can just it can be great end results for your first turn boards, and that's really he's one of the ways. Like this card, Machine Dupe and Cybernetic Overflow are like the main ways this deck can go first. But you know something that I really use this card a lot for? I'm so disrespectful to my soldier. I don't even care about resolving his effect. I legit use this guy to just waste my opponent's resources. I will legit put him as Chainlink 2 because I'm so serious about getting my core back from the grave with hers that I will discard hers, summon soldier, turn player priority, Galaxy Soldier Chainlink 2, hers Chainlink 1, grab my core back after I resolve soldier to search another soldier. And even if I can't summon another soldier, all I care about is that I got my core. And like, and I normally use him to waste my opponent's resources. And something that's really unique about him is a lot of people use him just to make ring 5s. I use him to set me up for Cybernetic Overflow, Overload Fusion, setting me up for Cyber Repair Plant, and for Cyber Eltonin. Those are 4 bombshells right there. Those are 4 really, really powerful plays that can all be detrimental impositions to your opponent. And by using Galaxy Soldier, he sets you up for those plays. So a lot of the times, I don't even care if his effect resolves. That's why I will legitimately just leave my Chainlink 2. And I mean, I mistreat him, but it's like he does a lot for me that I need to do because he kind of acts like a way to foolish your stuff. And it's just really, really good. I love him a lot, yeah. But I abuse him, and I really do disrespect him a lot because I just don't care about resolving his effect. And once you summon 1, you don't need to summon 2 anyways because you can get a Cyber Dragon out pretty easily next to him. Next up for our hand traps, we obviously have 3 Ash Blossom. Do I really have to sit here and talk about this card? Everybody talks about this card, you know. The forehead is real, bro. Like, she's just such a great card. We have triple Drone Lock, something that changed my previous display too. And if you didn't notice, I'm not main decking Winter Cherries anymore. I felt that I was dead drawing Winter Cherries against a lot of matchups because my extra deck space is tight. So I felt like if I had more Winter Cherries targets, I could main deck Winter Cherries and it wouldn't be such a dead draw. But I dead drew it against Dracos, dead drew it against Lightsworns, I dead drew it against Cosmo Dracos. I dead drew it against the Thunder Dragon deck because I'm not playing enough. I was only playing cherries to stop the FTK, so I had 1 cherries target firewall, and I kept dead drawing cherries. And I said to myself, what is a good hand trap that I can main deck that will have elements that can have a high impact in other matchups outside of the FTK, meaning that it has higher applications and it's less of a dead draw? Because I kept bricking with cherries because it's like, if it's not Goki or FTK or Dark Warrior, cherries, I had no other targets unless it was like a mirror match. So I felt Drone Lockbird still can stop the FTK from happening, very much so. But also, it's good against Sky Strikers, Trick Stars, Gokis. It's good against, it can be pretty useful against Dracos, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty good against also the FTK deck itself. It's just a very, very well-rounded hand trap. And a lot of the times, what I love about Dro is he normally stops turns. And that's what I love. That's really good for a Cyber Dragon player. If I can stop your turn, I'm going to kill you. It's really good. So Droll's pretty dangerous in this deck. If I can Droll you and you don't have a strong enough follow-up to build up a board that's decent or just optimal enough to defend yourself from everything that I'm throwing at you, I'm just going to murk you. So yeah, triple Ash, triple Droll, play around the Midfield Breaker too. And Droll's not even once per turn, which is really cool. So if you negate them, for example, with something that negates monster effects, I can just Droll again. So yeah. And then something else that's changed is let me get these looking pretty organized actually. So yeah, something else that's changed is I actually opted to play 2 Eltonins now. Because I was realizing like Eltonin, I did sack a Thunder Dragon player at the event at Houston Regionals. But that was a sack because I hard drew my Eltonin. And I really, that was game 3 when I didn't really have an out. Because he had double Colossus and Titan on his field. And, you know, the first time I outed this board, I legit just duped my hers. And I went Nova Infinity. Infinity take the Colossus in the main zone. Contact fuse with the Colossus in the extra zone. And the Infinity to Mega Fleet. And then played Repair Plant. And then I was thinking about this guy, but I ended up searching out the Kaiju instead. And Kaiju didn't just clear this whole field. But I was like, I didn't even have to do all that work if I just had an Eltonin. And then in game 3, when I sacked him with the Eltonin, that was just luck. It was a blessing that I had the Eltonin because I would have lost because I legitimately needed to search. Like, I had to search to do what I needed to do. And I couldn't put up a powerful enough defense because I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, well, since I can't search, I just need to put up a defense until I can get to what I need so I can break his board. But my 6th card that I drew was Elton, and I was like, yeah, it's over for you now. So I decided to just bump him up to 2 because drawing this card is really, really powerful. It's such a great card. Like I was saying, Core and Eltonin is just too dangerous against every deck. I mean, think of it. He doesn't care if you can't be destroyed by card effects or if you can't be targeted. He just doesn't care. You know, he just sends it to the grave. He's really powerful. So yeah, I'm playing it at 2 because I need a higher chance of drawing this card. I felt that 3 was overkill, but 1... it was just too much of a sack because it's like, I understand that it's searchable. I do know that. But in matchups like Thunder Dragons where you can't search this card and it's that good in that matchup, you just got to play more of it because this is really strong. The Thunder Dragons, he doesn't care if they could protect themselves from destruction because he's just sending them to the grave. So really powerful card. Beats Gokis. It beats any extra link board. Stops Thunder Dragons. It also is really strong against Cosmos, which, you know, I got paired up against Cosmos. And in general, it's just like such a great board wipe. And having stuff like this in your main deck, which is not minuscule 1-for-1 interactions or exchanges and not just baby spot removal, but a wipe that doesn't destroy and doesn't target, is just so good. And then I still main deck the Jizakura. It's very important to have a Kaiju in your main deck because you will run into some cheese. And I just find that it's just so important. Like this won me my matchup against Draco because he actually dropped Metaltron on me. And I legit had like no out until he used his Draco spell, popped my Overflow. I chained it. Even though Metaltron was unaffected, I just chained it and popped his diagram. And ended up searching out my Repair Plant. And ended up doing Core and then Core grab Emergency. No, it was Emergency and then Emergency for Core, Core grab Repair Plant for my Kaiju. Kaiju this dude and then Contact Fuse to Fortress. So main decking a Kaiju is just so important. I noticed a lot of even the best players running Cyber Dragons either don't main these at all or they main one of the 2, and these 2 are like mandatory. You have to play both of them in your main. It's too important. They'll win you a lot of matchups, and you just need a Kaiju, bro, especially for your Sky Striker matchup. The fact that you can just Foolish Barrel your guy or summon Galaxy Soldier by discarding anything, and like if they want to Widow Anchor it, that's fine, but the fact that you can just Repair Plant for this Kaiju them, and then you can go into Chimera Tech Rampage, kill all their Widow Anchors, all their trash back row that wasn't going to do anything to in general. And then after that, you can just end up, after you've done that, you can end up eating this guy into a fortress or turning it into infinity, going into infinity, absorbing him. And once you do that, it doesn't even matter now because while they don't have any monsters in their main monster zone, you've already killed all their Widow Anchors. So I just feel that the Kaiju is just way too powerful. It's way too detrimental on everybody else for you not to play it. And I still play one Vire because I just find that it's correct. I found that sometimes that I really wish that this was dry. But I know that for sure once Nashter comes out, that this card, I'm not going to play it anymore, like whatsoever, not even as a one-of. Because I'm going to cut this and something else, and I'm going to play 2 Nashters. Cyber Dragon Nashter is just going to be nasty, you guys. So, yep, that's my monster count. I really wouldn't change it this time. The one mistake I made was main decking Cherries because I just really didn't want to lose to FTK, you guys. I mean, think of it. I want to go second, bro. And that's their dream. It's like they're just so cheesy and so happy that they get to go first because they want to FTK me. And I was like, no, I want to have Cherries for you. Now for my spells, we're going to start off with, you know, one of the best spells in the deck, Cyber Emergency. Very similar to Core. It gets you a lot of your removal that you need. It's really powerful. And I like the option of being able to search without normal summoning. So this can be nearly, but not the same, but nearly the equivalent of a Core, which I really like. because sometimes there's extra resources that you need to fetch before you can go into a committed play. And a lot of the times too, I use this on Elton, like if I didn't draw him, and I'll go Elton first before I do anything else. So yeah, emergency, so busted, you guys. If they Ash Blossom it, no, you can't add it back because Ash didn't negate the activation. And something different too that a lot of people don't do is I actually play triple Repair Plant. Because it's really easy. I don't know about you guys, but it's really, really easy for me to get my Cyber Dragons engraved. Like it's too easy. In fact, it's like so easy that it baffles me that some people even play one of it. I understand playing two because it's a hard once per turn, right? In addition to that, it requires a setup, right? But also keep in mind that emergency is a hard once per turn. And while it doesn't require a setup, what Repair Plant has over emergency is that it has more targets that it can search. It can search Inspector Border, it can search out your Kaiju, because Jizukiro can be normal summoned, so you can't emergency for it, because he's a card that, it doesn't say in his card text he can't be normal summoned or set. So Repair Plant searches a lot more, and I wanted to maximize on the consistency of the deck. And opening up with this, I've never bricked on it. I played it at 3 Houston, and I was drawing this more than I was drawing Emergency, and I never bricked on it. It's literally too easy to get a Cyber Dragon engrave. It does not make sense why people would even think that this card is like so difficult to set up. They're like, nah, it's just too hard to set up. That's why I just play one. Like, it's easy, bro. You're literally, you make a Mega Fleet and you already have this set up. Like, it's just so broken. It really helps a lot, and it allows you to have 6 more cores. So you're playing 9 cores, or you have 6 more Eltonins, right? Or anything. It's like 6 more of everything that you need. And a lot of times in grind games, when my Inspector Border got outed, I would literally just search another Inspector Border. So it's really good, you guys. It really is. You got to maximize on your combo pieces like this. And a combo piece that's this imperative that can search literally any monster that you need in your deck, I have to play 3. I already explained my reasons. If you don't want to play 3, do whatever you want. It's your deck. I'm not stopping you. Next up, we have 3 machine duplications. This card is just really nice. It really is. It's fuego. Like, honestly, bro, one of the main reasons that I was saying that this deck can go first is because of Galaxy Soldier, Machine Dupe, and Overflow. Other than that, it's like, it's really hard. Like, because you can normal summon core, don't get me wrong, but it's like, making a Seeker, is Seeker really going to pose a threat to your opponent? And it's like, you're blessed if you draw cards like Impermanence if you play them, or if you have hand traps, but Machine Dupe, Galaxy Soldier, and Overflow are like literally the main reasons why this deck can go first. And it's really easy to set up boards because of this, Galaxy Soldier, and Overflow, and those are really what helped to make the Seeger, Griffin, Infinity Overflow board. So yeah, really good. And it's not once per turn, and I play triple Repair Plant. I'm a madman. So I'm going to put my Cyber Dragon back, and I'm legitimately going to resolve a second Machine Dupe if I want to. Next, I play double rep system. Card is just way too broken, way too high ceiling. It's so easy to overlook the last effect, which has happened. It legitimately happened. It's so cute. This guy actually tried to Titan my Seeker. And the funny thing is, there was only 1 card left in his grave. The card that was left in his grave was Thunder Dragon Fusion. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to beat over his Titan with Seeker. And I brought Seeker back off rep system. And this guy goes, because I go damage step Seeker's effect to pump him to 42. You don't take damage, sir. And he's like, oh, it damage step, I can still use Titan. So in damage step, I chain and I activate Thunder Dragon Dark. And then he was like, all right, I popped the Seeker. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I still go to attack. And he's like, well, I'm popping. And I was like, well, it can't be destroyed by card effects. Really nice. Ref system's broken. And it's not once per turn. You got to play at least 2 of it. I find 3 can be a little bit too much because, you know, it requires a setup. And it's not always going to be optimal in every single scenario. But it's good enough to play at 2. And then I have 1 Overload and 1 Cyberload. I just found that Overload was so busted, it really was. But at the same time, Cyberload can be just as good. And most of the time, because I'm so fond of Eltonin and also Cybernetic Overflow, that I wasn't always leaving my graveyard set up for this. I would sometimes leave my graveyard set up for Eltonin and this. And that's how I feel like Cyberload was, a lot of the times it was better. It was more flexible. I've used this as a trap, like against, it wasn't Altergeist, but it was Draco. I legitimately set this, and on his in-phase, summoned Chimera Tech Rampage by shuffling 3, and popped all 3 of his back rows on his in-phase by using this quick play spell. It was amazing. And it just gives you follow-ups too. It's just really, really strong. So that's why I was like, 1 Overload is good. If you want to go more fusion heavy, you can play more than 1, but this deck doesn't need Rampage to win. And don't forget, Nova, if he gets destroyed, can summon Rampage anyways. And then the godliest one of you guys. The godliest one-ofs, you guys, are Foolish and 1-for-1. Now, Foolish for me is just such a flexible card. It really does a lot for me. And oftentimes this and this are more Cyber Dragon names. And I play a ton of monsters, so it's not like I'm not gonna have the discard fodder for 1 for 1. But what I really like about these cards is, like I was saying, it's more names. One of the problems that I run into playing this deck is there's not enough good Cyber Dragon names that you can play. And a lot of times what you need is just a card that's treated as Cyber Dragon on the field. And Foolish gets you that, as well as 1 for 1. And being able to summon hers, even if you just want to trigger his effect to make him level 5, can still be really powerful. But oftentimes I link him away and grab my core. Because I didn't normal summon yet. So I'll link him away into Seeger, for example. Him and something else into Seeger. And then I'll add core back, and then I'll normal summon core. Especially if I wanted to just discard core for cost for this. Like, I don't mind, because I know I'm going to get it back off of her. So yeah, really busted. I recommend, because I haven't seen any Cyber Dragon list playing this. And I really don't see him playing Kaijus or Elton. And I'm sure that there are some, but not a lot. But yeah, I feel like every Cyber Dragon list should be playing 1 for 1, especially when Nastor comes out. But yeah, that's it for the spells. All the spells are really amazing. I couldn't really change anything in the spell lineup. I'm really mad at myself for not playing 1 for 1 to begin with. For our traps, we have triple evenly matched, triple infinite impermanence, and double cybernetic overflow. Now I want to go second, and I don't care if I have to relinquish my battle phase. For me, evenly is like this. If I have to evenly you, that means I probably wasn't going to be able to use my battle phase the way I wanted to in the first place. So yeah, evenly, it doesn't matter if I want to OTK and that this deck is like a OTK oriented deck. A lot of the times when you're evenly matching your opponent, it's like they had too much going on. You know, they literally just had just too much for you to deal with, or too much disruptions, or just too much back row, too much floodgates, too much problem monsters that can't like be dealt with, and they're in the main monster zone, so you can't even mega fleet them. So like evenly matched is just so busted. Then we have triple impermanence. Like I've legitimately negated more spells and traps than I have monsters with this card. Like seriously. Like, I've negated Thunder Dragon Fusions, I've negated Soul Charges, I've negated Goki Rematches, I've negated Beginning of the End with this card. Like, it's just, Impermanence is so broken. Like, when I go first and I have this in my hand, it's so good, because it's like Infinity. Even if I can only put up Infinity and this in another hand trap, a lot of the times that's still enough for even the best decks. And Overflow is just so nasty. I love it when people pop it and I get to chain it. It's just so broken. You can even Twin Twister your own Overflow if you want to. Now for the extra deck, I play 1 Seeger, 1 Genius, and 1 Hoshinijin for my Link 2s. You gotta play the Legendary Bay. And the reason being is because Summon Sorceress is the main reason why you can go for your Seeger, Griffin, and Infinity Overflow board. That board is just too broken. Like, you've got Overflow for 3 to 4. You've got Griffin floodgating all the best decks, and then you have Infinity to negate their impermanence, for example. Because a lot of people will try to impermanence your Griffin, honestly, and you just negate that. And then I have Firewall, because I still side deck my Cherries, and it's a really good Cherries target. But I don't know, I've been doing really good against those matchups, and I just feel that, like, every time I beat the FTK, it wasn't even because of Cherries. Like, I had Cherries one time, but it was like I didn't even need it because I already had impermanence the Tomahawk, and he literally had no follow-up after I impermanenced the Tomahawk. So I was like, I guess I don't need the Cherries. So I don't know if I'll play it in the future, but it's still good against Gokis and Dark Warriors, so it has applications outside of FTK. And then I have my Chimera Tech family. You've got to play more than 1 Mega Fleet. It's so important because it comes up a lot. And in general, just being able to eat their monsters and turn it into something that's massive and threatening, it applies a lot of pressure. Because a lot of times, this will be a 3,600 threat in the Goki matchup. And when you're able to eat their monsters and break the extra link and make it to where a lot of stuff that was co-linked isn't even co-linked in the first place, is really good. Tri-gates off, and you can just proceed with your plays from there. You can even turn this into a Seeger with another Cyber Dragon, so it's just really busted. I still like Fortress, because in matchups like the Mirror Match, like Invoked, like Cosmos, and also for my tech that I was playing DNA Surgery, this is just a really strong card, especially when you can contact fuse their entire field, like if they happen to have a Don Dragster or if you Kaiju them. It's just a really, really smart choice to make. And also, like, keep in mind, like, if you ever run into Cyber Dragons, this is the main reason why it's better to go second in that matchup. And then we have Rampage, because he's just so busted. I love Rampage because he gives me core every turn. I'm legit sending hers and something else and getting core from Grave. Every turn, it's like, he almost, like, adds my core from my deck to my hand. It's really broken. Then I play double Infinity, double Nova. OTK'd a lot with Nova. It's just so busted. Half the time, Nova was better than Infinity. Like, he was just so good. And then the 1 Pleiades. Sometimes you just need Pleiades because of the interactions that he has, where he can do things that Infinity and Nova just can't do. And it's very much true. Like you just really need the additional disruption, because also keep in mind that you can't overlay Infinity more than once per turn. So yep, that's the extra. The side deck is triple Inspector Border. We have triple Artifact Sanctum and just one Scythe. For me, I only need to resolve Sanctum once. My deck's going to kill you. So I just need Sanctum once. And Scythe is level 5, so it does help going into Pleiades sometimes, getting the extra Link Fodder for Hippo Shinigen. And just the extra monster, it really helps its damage on board. Then we have triple Reboot. This card's so dangerous with this deck, because if I reboot you, I don't even care if I can't kill you. I'm going to Chimera Tech all your back rows and you can't respond. And it doesn't matter if you can set another trap from your deck. And then double twin, I found that just 2 was perfect because I already have reboot. And then don't forget, my deck has main deck back row hate in the form of evenly matched, my Cyberload Fusion, my Overload Fusion, my Cyber Dragon Core. Chimera Tech Rampage is real, you guys. And then the 3 cherries. Cherries is just for Gokis, Dark Warriors, and the FTK. Now, something that I'm going to actually do, which I'm going to implement into my side deck, is 3 Gozens. Not Rivalries, but Gozens, because Rivalries is not good enough against Altergeist, Thunder Dragons, and Trick Stars and Sky Strikers, but Gozen beats Sky Strikers. It's really strong against Thunder Dragons. It's really strong against Gokis. It's really strong against the FTK. It's just so much better, this format, and it just really beats Altergeist, like, hands down. Like, they just legitimately can't get more than 1 monster on the field. So yeah, that's going to conclude the deck profile, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I'm taking this deck very seriously. I'm playing it competitively. And yeah, you guys can definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But also keep in mind that the way I play my deck, I will not change it. So if you're going to tell me to change my deck, I'm not going to change it. I love it the way it is. But God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. Don't do drugs. And don't join the game. Peace.